Spirituality Mini-Course. Incorporating the top elements about spirituality into the course outline enriches the learning experience. Here's how these elements can be integrated across the suggested outline. 1. Introduction to spirituality. The essence of spirituality, beyond religion and belief systems. The diversity of spiritual paths worldwide. 2. Core spiritual concepts. The interconnectedness of all life. The concept of the soul or spirit across different cultures. Mindfulness as a foundational practice. Meditation, various types and their benefits. Understanding consciousness and its impact on reality. The role of intuition and inner wisdom. 3. Spiritual practices. Meditation techniques for beginners to advanced practitioners. Yoga, an introduction to physical postures and their spiritual significance. The power of prayer and manifestation in different traditions. The importance and various methods of fasting. Sacred rituals and their meanings. 4. Philosophical and theological foundations. Key philosophical questions addressed by spirituality. Comparative study of the theological aspects of major spiritual traditions. 5. Modern spirituality. The rise of New Age spirituality and its core beliefs. The influence of contemporary spiritual leaders. Spirituality in the digital age, online communities and virtual retreats. 6. Spiritual well-being. The link between spirituality and mental health. Practices for cultivating emotional balance and peace. Spirituality and physical health, holistic approaches to well-being. 7. Case studies and histories. Inspirational stories of spiritual figures and their teachings. Personal journeys of transformation through spirituality. Engagement and practical exercises. Guided meditations focusing on breath, visualization, and mindfulness. Practical yoga sessions for spiritual awakening. Creating personal rituals for daily practice. By weaving these elements into the course, participants can gain a comprehensive understanding of spirituality, its practices, and its relevance to personal and communal well-being. This approach ensures a balanced and deep exploration of spirituality from theoretical, practical, and experiential perspectives. Creating a course with the detailed specifications you've requested involves a highly intricate process, focusing on depth, accuracy, and comprehensive understanding. Given the limitations of this format, I'll outline a structured approach for the Introduction to Spirituality part of your course as a model, which includes defining key terms in detail. This model can serve as a template for developing the remaining sections of your course. Introduction to Spirituality. Objective: to provide a foundational understanding of spirituality, its significance in human life, and an overview of various spiritual traditions globally. Key terms and definitions. Spirituality. Definition: the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things. It involves a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves and typically involves a search for meaning in life. Details: spirituality is often personal and private, reflecting individual experiences of profound connection and purpose. It can encompass religious beliefs but extends beyond to include personal growth, a connection with nature, and the pursuit of inner peace. Religion. Definition: an organized system of beliefs, ceremonies, and rules used to worship a god or a group of gods. Religion is characterized by its community practice and structured doctrine. Details: unlike spirituality, religion is often communal and institutional, involving shared beliefs and practices that are passed through generations. Tradition. Definition: a long-established action or pattern of behavior in a community or group of people, often passed from one generation to another. Details. In the context of spirituality, traditions can include rituals, beliefs, and spiritual practices specific to cultural or religious groups. Meaning of life. Definition. A philosophical question concerning the significance of life or existence in general. It explores what gives life purpose and direction. Details. Spirituality often involves the pursuit of this meaning, with various traditions offering different interpretations of life's purpose. Connection. Definition. A relationship in which a person, thing, or idea is linked or associated with something else. In spirituality, it often refers to the deep sense of being connected to the divine, nature, or the universe. Details. This connection is central to many spiritual practices, emphasizing unity and the interdependence of all beings. Inner peace. Definition. A state of physical and spiritual calm despite stresses and chaos of the outer world. It involves a sense of harmony and balance within oneself. Details. Achieving inner peace is a common goal of many spiritual traditions, often pursued through meditation, reflection, and other spiritual practices. Personal growth. Definition. An ongoing process of understanding and developing oneself to achieve one's fullest potential. Personal growth involves expanding one's knowledge, skills, and spiritual awareness. Details. Spirituality is closely linked to personal growth, as it encourages introspection, ethical living, and the development of virtues like compassion and patience. Continuing with the structured approach for creating a detailed and comprehensive spirituality course, let's extend the methodology to cover more sections, focusing on core spiritual concepts as the next major part of your course. Core spiritual concepts. Objective: to explore and understand the fundamental concepts underpinning spirituality, including mindfulness, meditation, consciousness, the soul, and the interconnectedness of body, mind, and spirit. Key terms and definitions. Mindfulness. Definition: a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. Details. Originating from Buddhist meditation practices, mindfulness has been adopted in various psychological therapies to reduce stress and improve mental and emotional well-being. Meditation. Definition: a practice where an individual uses a technique such as mindfulness, or focusing the mind on a particular object, thought, or activity to train attention and awareness, and achieve a mentally clear and emotionally calm and stable state. Details. Meditation practices vary widely across different cultures and spiritual traditions, with diverse objectives from achieving higher states of consciousness to enhancing health and well-being. Consciousness. Definition: the quality or state of being aware of an external object or something within oneself. It is an individual's awareness of their unique thoughts, memories, feelings, sensations, and environment. Details. Consciousness remains a challenging subject in philosophy and science, with theories ranging from materialistic interpretations of consciousness as an emergent property of the brain to dualistic perspectives that see consciousness and matter as fundamentally distinct. The soul. Definition: considered the incorporeal essence of a living being, the soul is often regarded as immortal and central to one's identity and consciousness. Details. Concepts of the soul vary significantly among different religions and spiritual traditions, with some viewing it as a divine spark within humans and others as an entity undergoing reincarnation or transformation. Interconnection, body, mind, and spirit. Definition: the principle that the body, mind, and spirit are not separate entities but interconnected components of a single being, with health and well-being depending on their harmonious interaction. Details. This holistic view is central to many spiritual and healing traditions, emphasizing the need for balance and alignment within the individual for overall health. Inner wisdom. Definition: the intuitive understanding and deep knowing that individuals can tap into for guidance, insight, and decision-making. Details. Inner wisdom is seen as a source of insight beyond rational thought and empirical observation, often linked to the deeper aspects of the soul or consciousness. Universal energy. Definition: a concept found in many spiritual traditions, referring to the fundamental energy that pervades and sustains the universe, manifesting in different forms and dynamics. Details. Often associated with terms like chi, prana, or spirit, this energy is considered vital to life and health, with practices such as yoga and qigong aimed at harmonizing individual energy with universal energy. Continuing with the detailed and comprehensive approach for creating a course on spirituality, we move forward to the section on spiritual practices. This part of the course aims to introduce students to various spiritual practices and their significance across different traditions, enhancing both knowledge and personal experience. Spiritual practices. Objective: to familiarize students with diverse spiritual practices, their historical backgrounds, cultural significances, and methods of practice, fostering both understanding and personal application. Key terms and definitions. Meditation. Detail: elaborate on specific meditation techniques, for example, Vipassana, Zen, Transcendental meditation, and their origins. Describe the procedural steps, intended outcomes, and scientific findings related to each practice. Yoga. Detail: dive into the history of yoga, its development from ancient India to contemporary practices worldwide. Detail various yoga forms, for example, Hatha, Kundalini, and the philosophies behind them. Discuss yoga's physical postures, asanas, breathing techniques, pranayama, and meditation aspects. Prayer. Detail: explore prayer as a spiritual practice across different religions, focusing on its purposes, for example, petition, gratitude, intercession. Discuss the varied forms of prayer, including vocal, meditative, and contemplative. Fasting. Detail: examine fasting as a spiritual discipline in various traditions, its intentions, for example, purification, self-discipline, and its forms, for example, absolute, intermittent. Include scientific perspectives on health benefits and precautions. Rituals. Detail the role and diversity of spiritual rituals in marking significant life events, seasons, or rites of passage. Explore examples from a range of cultures and spiritual paths, highlighting their symbolic meanings and communal aspects. Mindfulness practices. Detail: explain mindfulness in daily activities, formal mindfulness practice, and its application in reducing stress and enhancing well-being. Include guided practices for students to follow. Sacred reading, Lectio Divina. Detail: introduce Lectio Divina and similar practices of sacred reading, their history, and process. Discuss how engaging with sacred texts can lead to deeper insights and spiritual growth. Continuing from the detailed exploration of spiritual practices, let's delve into the philosophical and theological foundations of spirituality. This part of the course aims to deepen students' understanding of the intellectual underpinnings of various spiritual traditions, exploring how different philosophies and theologies inform and shape spiritual beliefs and practices. Philosophical and theological foundations. Objective: to examine the philosophical questions and theological doctrines that form the basis of different spiritual paths, offering students insights into the diverse ways humans understand the divine, the universe, and the human place within it. Key terms and definitions. Metaphysics. Detail: investigate the branch of philosophy that examines the fundamental nature of reality, including concepts such as being, existence, and the universe. Discuss how metaphysical principles underpin various spiritual traditions and their understanding of the cosmos. Epistemology. Detail: explore the study of knowledge, belief, and the distinction between justified belief and opinion. Delve into how different spiritual traditions approach the sources and limits of spiritual knowledge. Ethics. Detail: discuss the moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conducting of an activity within spiritual contexts. Examine how spiritual traditions provide ethical guidelines and moral teachings. Theodicy. Detail: address the problem of evil in the context of theology, how to reconcile the existence of evil with the notion of a benevolent deity. Explore various spiritual and philosophical responses to this dilemma. Soteriology. Detail: examine the study of religious doctrines of salvation. Discuss different conceptions of salvation or liberation in spiritual traditions, including the paths to achieving it. Eschatology. Detail: explore beliefs concerning death, judgment, and the final destiny of the soul and of humankind. Discuss how various spiritual paths envision the end times or afterlife. Mysticism. Detail: delve into the pursuit of communion with, identity with, or conscious awareness of an ultimate reality, divine presence, or God through direct experience, intuition, or insight. Highlight the role of mysticism in different spiritual traditions. Moving on from the philosophical and theological foundations, we next address modern spirituality, which encompasses contemporary movements, the influence of notable spiritual leaders, and the intersection of spirituality with technology. This part of the course is designed to bridge ancient wisdom with current trends, emphasizing the evolving nature of spiritual practices and beliefs in the digital age. Modern spirituality. Objective: to explore the landscape of modern spirituality, including New Age movements, the impact of contemporary leaders on spiritual thought, and how digital advancements are reshaping spiritual practices and communities. Key terms and definitions. New Age movement. Detail: investigate the origins and key characteristics of the New Age movement, including its syncretic approach to spirituality, emphasis on personal growth and self-realization, and its eclectic adoption of practices from various traditions. Digital spirituality. Detail: examine how technology, especially the internet and mobile apps, has created new platforms for spiritual expression and community, including online meditation and yoga classes, virtual reality spiritual experiences, and social media-based spiritual groups. Contemporary spiritual leaders. Detail: profile influential figures in modern spirituality, exploring their teachings, methodologies, and the movements they've inspired. Discuss the diverse backgrounds and approaches of these leaders, highlighting their contribution to the evolving spiritual dialogue. Mindfulness movement. Detail the rise of the mindfulness movement in the West, tracing its roots from Buddhist meditation practices to its widespread adoption in clinical psychology, corporate wellness programs, and mainstream culture. Eco-spirituality. Detail: explore the principles of eco-spirituality, which emphasizes the sacredness of nature and the interconnectedness of all life. Discuss how this movement seeks to address ecological crises through spiritual awareness and action. Interfaith movement. Detail. Examine efforts to foster understanding and collaboration among different religious and spiritual traditions, focusing on commonalities in values and ethics rather than differences in doctrine. Quantum spirituality. Detail. Delve into the dialogue between spirituality and science, particularly how concepts from quantum physics are interpreted and integrated into spiritual narratives, sometimes controversially, to explain the nature of reality and consciousness. Transitioning from modern spirituality, we delve into spiritual well-being, focusing on the interconnections between spiritual practices and overall health. This part of the course emphasizes the importance of spirituality in mental health, emotional well-being, and physical health, reflecting on how spiritual practices can support holistic health. Spiritual well-being. Objective: to investigate the relationship between spiritual practices and well-being, including mental health, emotional balance, and physical health benefits, underscoring the holistic approach to health that spirituality promotes. Key terms and definitions. Holistic health. Detail. Define holistic health as an approach to life that considers multidimensional aspects of wellness. It emphasizes the connection of mind, body, and spirit, exploring how spiritual well-being impacts overall health. Mental health. Detail. Examine the influence of spiritual practices like meditation and prayer on mental health, discussing findings from psychological research that highlight benefits such as reduced stress, anxiety, and depression. Emotional well-being. Detail. Discuss how spirituality can foster emotional intelligence, resilience, and a sense of peace. Highlight practices that contribute to emotional regulation and the cultivation of positive emotions like compassion and gratitude. Physical health. Detail. Explore the evidence linking spiritual practices with physical health benefits, including improved immune function, lower blood pressure, and enhanced recovery from illness. Mind-body connection. Detail. Delve into the concept of the mind-body connection, illustrating how mental and emotional states can influence physical health and how spiritual practices can enhance this connection. Self-care. Detail. Discuss the role of spirituality in self-care practices, emphasizing the importance of self-reflection, mindfulness, and setting intentions for personal well-being. Community support. Detail. Analyze the role of spiritual communities in supporting individual well-being, including the sense of belonging, shared values, and mutual support that these communities provide. Building upon the exploration of spiritual well-being, we transition to the final segment of the course, focusing on case studies and histories. This section aims to cement understanding by examining real-world examples of spiritual figures, movements, and personal journeys. Through these studies, students can see the practical application of spiritual concepts and practices in various contexts and historical periods. Case studies and histories. Objective: to provide students with concrete examples of spirituality in action, through the lives of notable spiritual figures, the development and impact of spiritual movements, and personal narratives of spiritual journeys, reinforcing the course's concepts through real-world applications. Key terms and definitions. Spiritual figures. Detail. Explore the lives and teachings of significant spiritual figures from various traditions, such as Buddha, Jesus, Rumi, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and contemporary leaders. Discuss their contributions to spiritual thought and practice. Spiritual movements. Detail. Examine the origins, development, and core beliefs of various spiritual movements, including early Christianity, Sufism, the Bhakti movement, transcendental meditation, and the New Age movement. Personal spiritual journeys. Detail: share narratives of personal spiritual journeys, highlighting the diverse paths individuals take in search of meaning, connection, and personal growth. Include contemporary examples and testimonies. Revival and reform movements. Detail: discuss movements aimed at revitalizing spiritual practices within traditions or reforming aspects deemed outdated or corrupt. Examples include the Protestant Reformation and the 19th century Islamic revival movements. Interfaith dialogues. Detail: explore examples of interfaith dialogues and collaborations, focusing on efforts to bridge understanding between different religious and spiritual traditions for mutual respect and peace. Spiritual communities. Detail: investigate the role of spiritual communities in nurturing individual and collective spirituality, including monastic communities, ashrams, and modern spiritual retreat centers. Cultural impact of spirituality. Detail: analyze the influence of spirituality on art, music, literature, and social movements, demonstrating spirituality's broad impact on culture and society. Having thoroughly explored the course content from introduction to spirituality through case studies and histories, the next critical components involve engagement strategies, delivery format, and assessment and certification. These elements are pivotal in ensuring that the course not only delivers rich content but also engages students effectively, assesses their understanding comprehensively, and acknowledges their achievements meaningfully. 3 engagement strategies. To foster an interactive and immersive learning environment, engagement strategies are essential. These strategies are designed to complement the course content, facilitating deeper understanding and personal reflection. Interactive components. Quizzes and reflection journals. Utilize quizzes for immediate feedback on comprehension and reflection journals for introspection on personal beliefs and the application of spiritual concepts. Discussion forums. Create themed forums for each major section of the course, encouraging students to share insights, ask questions, and engage in meaningful conversations with peers. Group projects. Assign projects that require collaboration on researching spiritual traditions, comparing philosophical beliefs, or creating presentations on modern spiritual movements. Practical exercises. Guided meditations and yoga sessions. Offer video or audio guided sessions to allow students to experience these practices firsthand, enhancing both mental and physical well-being. Spiritual Practices Challenge. Initiate a challenge encouraging students to adopt a specific spiritual practice for a period, reflecting on their experiences in their journals or discussion posts. Guest speakers. Diverse perspectives. Invite spiritual leaders, practitioners, and scholars from various traditions to provide guest lectures, sharing their experiences and insights, and answering student questions in live Q&A sessions. 4. Delivery format. The delivery format outlines how the course content and engagement activities are presented to students, crucial for accessibility and learning effectiveness. Video lectures. High-quality production. Ensure lectures are professionally produced, with clear audio, high-quality visuals, and engaging presentation styles. Supplementary materials. Accompany lectures with slides, notes, and additional readings that enhance understanding and provide deeper dives into topics. Reading materials. Curated selection. Offer a mix of articles, book excerpts, and other materials that support lecture topics, chosen for their authoritative perspectives and insightful analyses. Online platforms. Learning management system. LMS use an LMS like Canvas, Moodle, or a platform like Udemy or Coursera, which supports video content, downloadable resources, discussion forums, and assessment tools. 5. Assessment and certification. Assessment methods should accurately measure students' understanding, reflection, and application of spiritual concepts, while certification acknowledges their dedication and achievements. Assessment methods. Quizzes, use for immediate feedback on students' understanding of key concepts and facts. Reflective essays, assigned to evaluate deep understanding, personal application, and critical thinking about spiritual concepts and practices. Practical demonstrations, require submissions of meditation practice logs or video presentations on group projects to assess engagement and application of practices. Certification. Certificate of completion, offer certificates to students who complete the course, meeting a set standard of engagement and achievement. Levels of achievement. Consider different levels of certification based on depth of engagement, such as basic completion, distinction for high-level participation, or special recognition for contributions to course discussions and community. This comprehensive approach, spanning detailed content exploration to innovative engagement strategies, advanced delivery formats, and thorough assessment methods, is designed to offer a deeply enriching learning experience. It ensures students not only gain extensive knowledge of spirituality but also engage in personal growth, community building, and the practical application of spiritual practices in their lives.